Well, good morning, Chamber friends. It is Monday, December 7th already. Oh my gosh, where is this time going? 2020 is coming close to an end already. I'm sure everybody's going to be, willing to kick it to the curb and look into the new year. But we're still celebrating each day and being happy that we're still here. We have another member of the week we're excited to welcome. But before I do that, I want to just remind everyone and say thank you to our member of the week sponsors, MMA Insurance and Siebert and Reynolds CPAs. Certainly, if you need a CPA or insurance, they are your go-to, and we thank them for their sponsorship. So with us today, we have Mark Hall, who is with Kram and Associates. And Mark has been a member with us for probably maybe 2 years now, Mark.
Yeah.
And we're just excited to hear about his business and all that he offers. And of course, congratulate him on being selected as our member of the week. I always tell everyone I have this bag of member names on my desk, and it's just so fun to pick those out and get to see who's going to be on the docket next. So Mark, I'm going to turn it over to you. Tell us who you are, what you do, the services that you provide through Kram and Associates.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for allowing me to be a member of the week for you guys. And I'm very excited about that. Just to give you a little bit of background about my company, we started up about 7 years ago. My background, I actually worked for the dispatch for about 12 years. I went into a partnership at one time for another 10 years. And then I finally decided that I was going to branch out on my own. With my background being basically in advertisements, that's how I got started into starting out on my own company. Was this advertisement. People asked me about traditional type printing, advertising, posters, signage, brochures, things like that is where I thought my direction of the company was going to stay. But I ended up venturing out into website development because the clients basically demanded. Basically was going to ask me, Mark, can you help us in this area too? We want to print this piece, but we want it on our website. Can you create the page as well? So that's where I started out when we got into the digital portion, website development, branding, and along with doing marketing research, digital marketing research off your social medias and things of that nature. I've been very fortunate. A lot of the companies I have worked with, such as Kroger's, has been one of my major clients. I have worked with Toyota, Honda, Mac Tools. So when I think about how blessed I've been as far as companies I have worked for, and it just happened to be in the right place at the right time. But that's what Central Ohio and what I look at as far as Columbus market can bring to you when you think about the type of companies that's in our area. The Huntington Banks, which I had fortunate to be working with, Centage. I mean, when you can name a list of different companies in this area, this region. That says a lot, and there's a lot of opportunities out there. And I'm fortunate enough I have had those opportunities.
Absolutely. Well, and I know before we jumped on, Mark, you and I were talking a little bit about, how you've adapted your business due to the pandemic. And I know you shared a couple of things that you kind of shifted and able to, bring some new business into your world. So tell us a little bit about how you've adapted.
Well, basically, it was adding another silo. I never thought I would get into surveillance cameras, assets control, getting into buildings, things, swipe cards, things like that. Again, it just so happened, one of my clients asked me, can I help them in this particular area? Fortunate enough, a lot of the companies I have worked with, as far as partnering up with, are companies that basically had asked me at one point in time or another, could I come and work for them and represent them? And I decided to, stay focused and do my own thing. And so I had those relationships, and basically they have come to fruition where I've had opportunities to still send them some business or partner up on some business. And basically we have been very fortunate working with the Columbus City Schools, putting in surveillance cameras and access control, Dayton Public Schools, and currently I'm talking with another school about district about doing surveillance cameras as well. They have led me into long-term, I won't say long-term contracts, but 2-3 year contracts being able to do all their buildings, and that really has paid off for me currently, because as the printing business slowed down, website development slowed down, this was a perfect time to get some cameras in buildings where the students are not in the building, able to get in there, and actually a lot of the contracts being the 3-year, we probably finish it in probably 2.5 years. So luckily, I mean, just being blessed, having those opportunities.
Which is fabulous. I mean, we love to hear stories of how businesses have adapted. And like you said, the printing industry really slowed down when the pandemic really hit and the shutdown happened. But I'm assuming, and I don't want to assume, but I have heard from others that it seems like things have started to pick back up, where businesses are now advertising again and people want to get things in the mail. So that print side of the world seems to be picking back up. Is that the same case for you? Are you seeing
That's the same case for me. Probably started about 2 months ago. Slowly it's picking up. But I think, also when you look at what has happened, I think it's just a different way of doing business now. I mean, people are working more and more from home. Therefore, some of the printed material, everything is gone by website developments and, sending out, some emails and things like that. I think it just now have taken place with even when I do meetings there, I'm old school. I like face-to-face meetings. I like to get in front of people. I like to walk into the building and get a feel for the company. I just don't think those days is really truly is going to return. I think you've seen a lot of people, you can't even get into the buildings now. You knock on the door, they ask you who you want to see, you have an appointment. So it's a different landscape at this point.
It is definitely a different landscape, that is for sure. And I agree. I think a lot of that in-person opportunity is going to be moved to the wayside, and as we continue forward, especially when people have adapted to what a new, I hate to even use the words new normal, but adapted to what the new world looks like, or have gotten just used to it. And so maybe that just is out of convenience in some aspects, traveling to a meeting. There's travel time, there's mileage, that you charge back to the company as an employee and different things like that. So, if you can do these meetings over Zoom and still be productive, it saves the company money, it saves on, potential accidents that could be happening out on the road. So I think, the adaptation that we're going to see is probably a shift to a continuance of these virtual meetings. But the reality of, in my mind, the reality of these virtual opportunities is that you still have an opportunity to make good connections and really get to know people. So we just hope that people will adapt through the chamber and join us on virtual meetings going forward as well. So
well, I will say advantages right currently is, when you think about virtual meetings and things of that nature, how much information is being shared at this point. Now you can really time your day. Most of the meetings now is more rigid into that hour or whatever the case may be. So to me, there's been some advantages. You hit it on the head when you talk about mileage driving. When I first started out in my business, I put a focus on not having my first appointment until after 9 o'clock, after that rush hour traffic. But you look at it today, if you happen to have a face-to-face meeting, the traffic is very light. So I mean, you can get to and from places. Again, I think the Zoom meetings are help, but I do try to follow up with a face-to-face meeting when those opportunities occur. Right now, it's just not happening.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I'm right there with you. I'm all about the face-to-face with people as well. And I tease my team here. I miss people. I miss our members so bad. And we get to see them on Zoom calls, but it's just not, you just miss people. And I think the interaction is, really important to our mental health, to even our physical health, and just being able to have that opportunity. Yes. So last question for you. We always ask, what do you think makes Pickerington, the Columbus region, such a great place to do business?
Like I said, and one of the other things I do try to do is join the chambers, because it puts you in the know what's going on in your particular area. Pickerington, you guys have done the same thing. What's happening? What's going on in our community? But I've done the same thing with the Columbus Chamber, and what I found out is is just the information that's out there, who's coming into the marketplace, what's going on in your marketplace, I think has a large impact. As I stated before, when you think about the corporations that's in this market, there's a lot of areas of the country can say that they have a Huntington Bank, a Kroger company that you can reach out to, the Toyotas, the Hondas of the world. Well, Honda, to be honest with you here. So when you look at who's in this particular area, we're really are fortunate or blessed to be in the marketplace that we're in. Founding fathers of our area have done a very good job because of that, what they attracted. And I haven't even tapped into like Ohio State and things like that, to also who very large and out there in this area.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mark. Is there anything else you want to share?
Well, I just want, hopefully everybody enjoy the holidays, and we just all, I think we're going to turn the corner. I am the first one to believe that, you know, when you look at generations, each generation have gone through a crisis, whether it's depressions or recessions, pandemics, or whatever the case may be. I think if we pull together, we will come through this. And one thing I am a big believer on is our country. I think we're one of the most fortunate places to live, to be honest with you. So we just work together and not push the panic button. We'll get through it.
I agree. Well said. Once again, thank you, Mark Hall with Kram and Associates, our member of the week. We're so excited to highlight your business. And of course, thank you to our sponsors, MMA Insurance and Siebert and Reynolds CPAs. We appreciate them. We appreciate all of you. Hopefully everybody had a fabulous weekend, a great week ahead. It looks like our weather is going to start ticking upward with temperature, which is wonderful. We love to see that, except for those of us with allergy problems. So have a great week, everyone, and we will see you again very soon.
Thank you very much.